First thing it says is to create a function. Two inputs, a vector of length 21, another vector, and a few other manipulations, and finally do an output. So going over to MATLAB, right-click in the current folder window, New File, Function. This gives us a template. And I'm going to ask myself, let's see, what would be a good name for that function? Oops. I want to do exist, and so type exist, and I'm sure this. You know, one trick with names, this underscore business can be a bit of a pain. So type the first letter of the word, so that kind of says it's the end of one word and it's the beginning of the next. Okay, it does not exist, so I'll go ahead and use that for my. I'll copy it and I'll go over here and I'll call it, and that'll be the function title. Paste it into the title. Double click to open it. You'll note, oh, it says untitled. So take that same name, it goes here. The name of your function has to be the name of the file. Input arguments, x low, x high. Output arguments, I want to find out if that exists too. So I'm going to say my mat for my matrix exists. I'm going to do exist, not my mat. Exist tells us if a variable is already being used. It's not, so I'll pop up here. And I'll get rid of this. I didn't ask you to comment details on the function. The function has to have these two inputs. We're going to create a vector between x low and x high of 21 data points. The easiest way to do that is, and if in doubt, always type, see if that exists. It doesn't exist yet. Get rid of the extra lines with the format compact. Okay, v1 equals, the easiest way to do this is to use the function Linspace, which stands for linear spacing. I started x low, ended x high, and 21 data points. I'm going to do something down here real quick just to show you something. And it doesn't, okay, it doesn't like it. I'm going to have you do it from -1 to 1, so I'll just do it like this on the command line. So you have 21 columns. You can do it the same way. Start at x low, or start at -1. Since x low is not defined in the command window, it's going to be defined up here, but not in the command window. -1, and I'm going to go -1 to 1 is 2. Divided by n minus 1, 21 minus 1 is 20. So I'm going to have this step size and 1. So these two commands, Linspace and doing it this way with the colons, should produce the same result. And it does. Linspace is probably the easier one to use. Start, stop, and how many points, if that's what you're asked for. Okay. Go back to this. So 21 points, multiply it. So I'm asking you to do some make sure that you can do a few things with functions. Multiply by 2. It's just using it in a math expression. Taking that v2 10. This is where you guys got to know the dot operator. So that would be that one, v3 right here. And then v4 is the natural log of this. And in MATLAB, natural log is log. And we're going to output, so the output needs to be another matrix. So far, these are all row vectors, not columns. So my mat equals bracket v3 prime. What the prime does is it creates a column, it takes a row vector and it transposes it. So you can transpose now. Some of you transpose later. Doesn't really matter when you transpose as long as you do. So that's how I would create my function, like so. And then save away. Let's give it a try. A equals, nope, I didn't do it that way. Okay. So when I call a function, outside the function, I'm giving it -1 to 1. Inside the function, it assigns -1 and 1 to these two variables. Inside the function, it produces this variable. Outside the function, I set A equals that. So outside the function, I would get my A. And double checking that A is correct. There we go. And it looks pretty good. It looks like it was supposed to, according to the document. Let's go back to the Word document. It was supposed to look like what's underneath 8 there, that table. And indeed, I'm getting that. So I'm pretty sure my function works correctly. Now, I have to do plotting and stuff. I might as well do it in my script file. Create a script file, new file. Example creates a publish script. So create that publish script. And it's always a good idea to put your name on it. And then we're going to call the function and let's see, what else does it ask? Now it's going to ask us to plot, so we run the function. That's part 3. Part 3 is right here. I'm going to get rid of the example stuff too. There we go. So I've created my script. This is part 3, run the function with these variable inputs. You'll notice you're not setting x, y, and x low inside the function. These -1 and +1 are passed in. There is no assignment of x low and x high inside the function itself. It's all outside. It's in this script. So that's where a few people had some troubles. Okay, you got to pick out column 1 and column 2 and plot it. So plot A, all the rows, colon, comma, column 1. So this is a way to pick out column 1 of matrix A. Plot it against A, all the rows, and column 2. You'll notice, by the way, when I do a left arrow and I pass this parentheses, it underlines the one that matches it. So MATLAB's trying to give you hints about things. Then from here, I just title it. By the way, if you do that, that's a way to put a single apostrophe inside your text. Sizemore's plot, MATLAB exam 1 plot. Put on the titles, put on the label. Am I? Yes, I am. You're right. Right there. Okay. By the way, you'll notice the color. You probably picked that up from color. Good. I already did a title. Okay. So if I run this script, it ought to produce everything okay. So double check that. Better save the script first. I forgot to save it. You'll notice there's a star over here. Means it hasn't been saved yet. A star over here also hasn't been saved yet. Go ahead and save it. Sometimes that's a mistake. You'll run something, it doesn't do what you expect. Well, it's because you haven't saved it yet. So just run it. And it's supposed to. Now I can publish it. And of course, you guys have found this. You can publish from the this tab. You don't have to execute something from the command line. I'm going to go ahead and show it from the command line anyway. Just close it up. You can publish from the command line. There we go. So I'm going to publish away, and it's going to crunch on it a while and crunch on it a while, and it creates an HTML folder, which is where my PDF file should be. And I think I forgot something. I'm not quite done yet. Oh, get real. Come on, open up, you silly thing. Okay, this computer's being slow. Okay, so far I've got my commands, but I don't see the function file yet. It says, okay, plot things, display command history. So I have my command history, and when you put it in your published file, the published file, if you put it in your published file instead of doing it outside, these two things are captured in the published file. We're fine, basically. Here's the commands to actually do it, and here's the result, the figure itself. So the figure is plotted. That's part D. The only thing I haven't done yet is to display the contents of the function file. So here's how we do that. So I go back here and type and save it and run it. Save it, and now I'll publish from this. Now that you've seen publishing from the command line here, you can do it. I'll go ahead and publish it from here. Just publish. Just the name, right? Ooh, and you guys see this a lot. I forget once in a while to do this. I got to close my PDF output to be able to run it again. So here we go. I'm running it again. This time it's coming up just fine. It's going to recreate this publish script as soon as my thing stops. There it is. Now I've typed my function. So this is what this part of the exam is about. Display the contents of your function file. The command to use is type. There it is. Type. So whatever the contents of this file are, when you do type and file name, it just types out whatever is in that file.
There's no other way you can do that?
No convenient way. So I'm done. That's the exam. That was it.